All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to the United Drivers League. This is the United Drivers League IndyCar preseason race. We're going to be racing today at the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. My name is Racer X. Going to be doing the race for you guys today, and possibly for the rest of the season as well. Of course, I'm mostly known for just doing mostly the F1 races, but today this is a bit of a new thing for me, doing IndyCar, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. And so I'm sure so are the other drivers, as they're going to be doing their first preseason tests for the IndyCars, of course, around this beautiful circuit of the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. Of course, this shares a little bit with the main circuit, but has a little bit of a different sort of track to it. So the track itself is a 2.6 mile circuit, about as long as the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Interlagos. It has 14 corners, 7 to the left, 7 to the right. And of course, obviously I would say there would be DRS zones if I was doing F1, but obviously that's no factor for IndyCar, of course. So the way I think this is going to work, from what I have been hearing, is there's going to be a 20-minute session with a 10-minute qualifying for each group. So the first group will do 10 minutes, second group will do next 10 minutes. So let me try to get everything up for you guys as well. This is also my first time ever using Project Cars 2 like spectator cam, so apologies if I am a little bit of a beginner at this, but I will do the best that I can for you in the meantime. So it looks like we got our first cars out already. There's some faces I'm familiar with, some faces I'm new to seeing. So the first group, I was going to mention him. It's YCF1 Fan, who you just saw went onto the gravel trap. And then we have Trigger Happy, Hefe1120, Snipper Pig. Of course, if you remember, Snipper Pig won the Indianapolis 500 over a month ago, in probably the most dramatic fashion I've seen for that kind of a race as well. X-Driver and XTX Cone Dodger are the guys that are going to do a qualifying lap. So let me see who I can ride along with first.
Fucker.
Oh, Laser, I'm in the middle of a stream, dude. I apologize for the language. But anyway, let's ride along, I guess, with XCS Cone Dodger as he's going to the front straight of the Le Mans circuit and up towards the Dunlop Bridge, or Dunlop Curve, or the Dunlop Chicane, as it's normally called in this part of the Le Mans circuit. And now we go into a little bit of a downhill part of the track and to turn 4, which is a bit of a sweeper right-hand turn, and then followed by another a heavy braking zone into turn 5, which is following what turn 4 is, a little bit of a sweeper, but this time it's a left-hand turn. Cone goes a little bit wide though. Next we come into turn 6. This is a little bit of a tight bend sort of corner, this part of the track. Kind of follows a little bit what you see from the circuit Paul Ricard. Now we go to turn 7 and 8. This is another chicane following it up. I think if I remember correctly, this is a little bit, you have to let off the throttle a little bit, as you can see there from Cone. Next we go into turns 9 and 10, a little bit of a, looks like a little bit more of a downhill chicane, right-left chicane. And then following that to the last corner. I'm actually using the Wikipedia map, to be honest, but I don't think that what the map is showing is obviously accurate. But as Cone Dodger comes across the line, sets a 120.4, so that's the benchmark right now. Driver with a 20.7, and I think the next to come across, let me see if I can find who it is. I think that was Trigger Happy. Okay, so Trigger Happy goes to 3rd. I think next will be F1 Fan, or YC F1 Fan, whatever he likes to be called, will be coming across the line, and he will go into 4th. Hefe goes into 5th, and Snipper has yet to do a lap himself. as he's coming around the final parts of the track now into the chicane. Into the final corners of turns 13 and 14. I know there's 14 corners. This is that the map I was using was inaccurate, or reading off of was. So the time for Stipper Pig, 53.9, so he might have messed up a little bit, so he's got at least another 5 minutes to at least get another lap down. I think that would be another 2 laps if possible. So let's see if Cone can at least improve just a little bit more, as he will come across in the... I think that's if I'm correct, I think that's a Chip Ganassi car, and he improves by quite a lot, by nearly 8/10 with a 1:19.7. Next looks like to be driver. I don't think he improved his time at all. Next is Trigger Happy. Let's see what he can do here, as he will improve it by a second, goes up into 3rd. So good time there from Trigger Happy. I don't think it looks like F1 fan is going to improve, unless he proves me wrong on that, because he looks kind of slow for the time being. I think he just might probably waiting for another lap to get down. So let's just ride along with Snipper Pig. And of course, I think if I remember correctly, this is Cone Dodger's teammate as well. They're both teammates in the Chip Ganassi car. Snipper has a little bit of a moment there going out of that chicane. Now we go into the final corners. Does he improve at least? 153 is his time. I'm sure he's going to beat it. What does he do in this run? He goes 3rd fastest with a 120.8, just 1 second below his teammate for now. But a good time from Snipper Pig. So then the other groups, real quickly, the other groups will be Laser Runner, Andy Racer, D-Racer, I think that's how you pronounce, Korab, Daniel, Intersport, and Pecan will be in the Group 2 following suit after these guys. Can't see with the messages popping up. Alright, so Trigger Happy. Does he improve? No, he does not. He is nearly 2/10 down from his time. Let's see. Heffy. It looks like he's improving, though. He's about 7/10 from his time. Does it have enough to at least beat YCF1 fan? He's off the grass a little bit as he comes across, and he will go... Well, he does not improve a position, but he does improve his time. 127.6 is the time. As Cone Dodger has gone to the pits, and YCF1 fan does improve his time, but does not improve position at all. And I think we are seeing Cone and Snipper go into the pits, obviously gain new fuel and more fuel and new tires. Trigger Happy right now 6/10 down from his time. I'm thinking he might try. Does he want to go in for fuel though? No, he does not actually go for fuel. Oh, keep forgetting that's the chicane. The pit's coming up, but no, he's not going to go into the pits right now. I'm surprised it's only Cone and Snipper. At least they're being smart about it. It doesn't look like he improved his time at all. Cone's about to come out of the pits. He's got 2 minutes left until the checker flag comes out for the first group. Driver coming across the line. What does he do? It does not improve at all. He must have messed up quite a lot. But he's got more time. He's still got some time to at least improve. Let's see. YCF1 fan. Oh, that was extremely close to the outside barrier. He does improve, but I don't think he gains a position. So he has to stay where he is at right now in 5th place. And of course, keep in mind, this is the preseason race. It doesn't really count for anything right now. So pretty much, it's just all about just getting used to the cars again. Of course, they haven't raced since the Indianapolis 500. And this is also the first time, I think, I've seen them be on a road course for the IndyCars as well. Snipper Pig, let's see if he improves his time. Okay, that was, okay, he must have came out the pits. Never mind. So we'll wait to see what he does. He's got one more lap to do it. Cohn's going back into the pit, so it looks like his qualifying may be over, I think. Driver is the next one to come close to the line. Does he have enough to improve? He's got to be a 119.7. Gets a little bit loose. He does go into pole position by 2/10, nearly 2/10 over Cone Dodger. So great time there for X driver in the Pennzoil car up into pole position. And I think the next ones is F1 Fan and Hefe. So we'll follow with F1 Fan first. Oh, Hefe gets a little bit outside, goes a little bit wide there at the finals, a couple of corners. And I don't think they both improved their times at all, so they'll have to stay where they're at. But meanwhile, Snipper Pig up 4/10 from his time. Does he have enough to at least get somewhere into the 119s is the question. It is coming towards the final bit of the track now. Into the final two corners. Does he have enough? 119.5 is pole, and he goes 120.0. So he will improve his time, but not position. And I think that's the checkered flag right there for the first group, and that'll be the end of the qualifying run from the way it looks. So group 2 will come out for the next 10 minutes of qualifying, but Cone Dodger looks like he wants to at least get a lap down before he has to go into the pits. He's getting a little bit messy there, but does he have enough? He only has to get to at least 2/10 to get pole position. And he will not improve. So Cone will have to stay in second. So the order was driver, Cone Dodger, Snipper, Trigger Happy, YCF1 Fan. I think he's not going to improve from the way it looks. Unless I'm wrong about that. No, he does not. So he will remain 5th, and Hefe will be in 6th for now. So now we got the second group coming out. So this will involve Laser Runner, but I don't know why, but he's still in the pits. Okay, he had to probably change his setup or something. My guess, as good as his, I don't know. Andy Racer is also involved in the second group, along with Korab, making his IndyCar debut. Well, there's a few maybe that making their IndyCar debuts. I'm trying to get familiar with everyone, like I said. Daniel is someone I've known pretty well. Of course, races in the WEC Series for UDL. Intersport was one of the guys in the Indianapolis 500. But I don't think I need to remind too much about what happened in the final lap. Pecan is also amongst the last of the cars in the group as well. So pretty much right now, these guys, all they have to do is, if they want to get to pole, 119.5 is the benchmark. And I think we'll follow along with Andy Racer, since he is at least the first one to at least start and hot lap. Now, of course, also some information about this Bugatti circuit. Of course, this is also the main circuit, obviously, the Le Mans circuit, which obviously hosts probably the most famous race in the World Endurance Championship, the 24-hour Le Mans. This also this track has hosted the 1967 French Grand Prix for Formula One, and has also hosts the 24-hour. I didn't even know this actually was a thing, to be honest. A 24-hour Le Mans, 24-hour MotoGP endurance. So it's got some history to it. It's got a lot of history for other motorsports as well. Andy Racer is the next first one to come across. Does he go up? Yes, he does. Up into 7th. I think Pecan got ahead of him as well. 122.5. Not bad for their outlaps. And I think the next one is Korab. And I think Daniel is following right behind him as well. So Korab, let's see what he can do. He goes 2 minutes 2, so he probably messed up quite a bit, so we'll probably have to try and improve his time. Meanwhile, Daniel, maybe he was on an out lap. Okay, I'll take that back. I think maybe Laser, I think he's on a hot lap. Let's see what he does. As he goes into 4th, ahead of Trigger Happy with a 121.3. Daniel's gone to the pits and Intersport's gone to the pits, but they have yet to even set a time right now. Now let's follow back to Pecan as he's going to get his 2nd lap going. And of course, Pecan, I probably would, in my opinion, I would probably say from the field, like who would be like the top contenders. Pecan's definitely one of them. I would also say Snipper Pig, obviously because he won the Indianapolis 500, Intersport, Cone Dodger, just because they are just good, consistent drivers. But I'm sure that's the same with everyone else. The only drivers I've watched outside of things is Korab. Korab, of course, is one of the drivers for F1 as well, but he is a pretty good driver as well. I think he came in his debut in Russia, if I'm correct. But so far, he hasn't impressed me in terms of like how good of a driver he is. He's got good pace, but of course, this is different. This is IndyCar, so. And I think he did say before I even started the stream that he got the game 2 weeks ago. So he's definitely trying to get the feel of it as well. I mean, I can understand that because like. That's how it was for me when I first got the game as well, trying to get used to the gameplay and stuff. So I don't think there has been any change, at least I think. Alright, so I think Pecan will be doing another lap. This is his 3rd lap. He's got 3:50 remaining in the qualifying round. Pecan goes 121.2. And I think, who was the next ones? I think that was NDR Racer. Goes into 8th, and then someone else followed along with them, I think. Was that Intersport? Yeah, it was Intersport. 156.7, so he must have messed up a little bit. But still got time to improve. Korab, did he improve his time? He is 122.5. I think he might have improved, unless I didn't catch. Oh, well, there he goes, and going 180 degrees out of the Dunlop curve. Don't want to be doing that during the race. Alright, so Pecan looks like he is okay. He's going to the pit, so he's obviously going to try to fit with new tires and obviously get new fuel as well. So the race itself for this preseason race is 35 laps. I think that would be maybe a 2-stop if I had to get a rough guess. Intersport does improve his time, 121.8, as he's racing with NDR Racer too in the process. All right, so Korab is the next one to come across. Does he have enough to improve his time is the question. No, not yet, but he has 2 minutes left to improve his time. He might have messed up quite a bit. Oh my goodness me, Korab cuts across ahead of Pecan when he was just coming out of the pit exit. That pit exit, though, I will admit, in that circuit is a bit tricky. So it'll be interesting to see that. Interesting to see how they will handle that too, once the race commences. But let's see. Who have we got? Daniel. He improves his time by 3 seconds. Goes into the 11th ahead of Hefe. with a 24.9. So let's see. Oh, I think we have another car coming across. Who is that? Oh, it's Intersport. All right, so I think this will be. Okay, so this will be the start of his last lap. So he's got one more shot to do it. Korab is the next one. Oh, he goes a little wide into the grass. Let's see what he does. Does he improve any time? No. He's down by half a second. Pecan, I think we'll get his final qualifying lap underway. Korab, I think, had his last chance. I think that will be the end of his run for at least what it looks like. As he also does the same thing again. At the same corner, too. Goes in a 180 degrees at the Dunlop curve. The laser runner. As the check flag is out, that is going to be the end of the total qualifying session. As well, that's not going to improve your time at all. As he goes wide of the gravel trap at the final corner, but does not improve his time at all. So next one to come, I think, is NDR Racer. And does he have enough? No, it does not look like that. So Pecan is the last one to at least set a sufficient time. Now, he's down by 1.7 seconds. He has to beat a 1:19.5 in order to get pole. Let's see what he can do here. Does he have enough to get up there? As I cannot see anything. No, we did improve his time, but he does not improve position. So, X-Driver is your pole sitter, Cone Dodger in second, and Snipper Pig in third. Pecan in fourth, with Laser Run in fifth, Intersport in sixth, Trigger Happy in seventh, Korab in eighth, ND Racer in ninth, and YC F1 Fan in 10th, and then Daniel in 11th, Hefe in 12th, and that is the rest of your grid. Now, I think, well, obviously if you know this game too, there's no, like, safety car or caution flags anytime there's a crash. So I think the way that they're going to do this, from what I heard, is they're going to like get a direct order from Pecan, who is leading this. And if in case of a caution, they'll have to yell out a caution, and we'll see what goes on. But anyway, so we got 35 laps around this 2.6 mile circuit. Hang on, I'm gonna get some more here real quick. Oh, okay. So apparently we're restarting because Trigger Happy returned to Race Central. I made that rookie mistake too in this game. I'm thinking we're gonna have to go to a new lobby. I'm just trying to get some word from Pecan about what's going on. So yeah, like I said, Trigger Happy accidentally pressed Race Central. I think we're gonna most likely get a new lobby going, because I can see that everyone is leaving the session. So I think I'll do the same too. Okay. Well, I mean, this is the kind of thing with Project Cars 2 is that you don't want to press into Race Central. Obviously, it'll take you back to the main menu. Alright, so Pecan also has to get me into spectator mode too, so that I'm not racing, otherwise I'll be driving my Ed Carpenter car. Alright, there we go. I got the approval. Alright, so I'm thinking they're gonna have to try to figure out the order again. The thing is about this game is that you cannot do a custom grid. In case something like this happens, you have to figure out who was in what position. So I think that's going to be the case. I know this was a bit of a... They had a bit of issues like this before with the Indianapolis 500, but that wasn't because of a driver doing that accidentally. It was just because of internet issues from certain drivers. And if I can too, I'll also read you off the calendar too as well for the IndyCar series for UDL. So after this, and this is this is probably the most interesting calendar, I will say, but I think the one I'm more intrigued, so I'll run them off real quick. So next week, it's a little bit out of date from what I'm looking at, but I think next week or 2 weeks will be the Daytona night race. So we'll be racing at Daytona International Speedway for 100 laps with the Indy cars. Now that is going to be really interesting because obviously IndyCar has never raced there before, and I don't think they should in real life because of how fast they go. Those cars go 220 plus miles an hour around an oval, and they got to deal with a lot of dirty air. But obviously this is a game, so it should be interesting to see how it goes. Then you have COTA, Long Beach, Indy, the Grand Prix circuit, and then we have an Indy 250, Road America, Algarve, Red Bull Ring, Texas Motor Speedway night race, Watkins Glen, and the final race will be actually in my home state in Laguna Seca but even though Laguna Seca is not from where I am, I live in SoCal. Laguna Seca is in more of a Central California. But that's pretty much the rundown of the UDL IndyCar Series calendar. So I think we're going to get everything all lined up and ready to go. Hopefully with no further interruptions. And the thing is that we're going to have to do it with everyone trying to figure out where they stand. I know X-Driver was on pole, and Cone Dodger was second, and Snipper was third. Pecan was fourth, and I think fifth was Laser Runner, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, they are using the manual formation lap, so obviously that will at least not mess things up. Okay, wait, are we lined up on a grid, or what are we doing? Okay, so X-Driver and Cone Dodger apparently have wandered off. But the rest of the... Oh, okay. I see what they're doing. They're just calling out who's supposed to be in what position. Got it. That's why I got confused. I always get confused with PC2 just because obviously you can't, like I said, put a custom grid, so it makes things a little bit difficult. It makes things difficult at least. So yeah, X-Driver is your pole sitter, Cone Dodger in second, Snipper Pig in third, Pecan fourth, Laser in fifth, Trigger Happy in sixth, Corab in seventh, Intersport in eighth, Indy Racer in ninth, YCF1 Fan in 10th, Daniel in 11th, and Hefe in 12th. Or Hendersport in 7th. I don't know. Who knows with this game, really? Alright, so I think... Oh, I forgot. Let me go ahead and put up the speedometer and everything else too, so that I can give you all that information. As everyone's just doing the formation lap for the time being, and we will wait till the green flag comes out once the drivers come around for the final corner, and we will get underway. And of course, like I said before, this is a preseason race, so this will not count. It's just a preseason race, just to get familiar with the cars and everything. I don't know what the formation will be. I don't know if it'll be double file or if it'll be triple, but like they do in the Indianapolis 500. But okay, it looks like they're going double rows, so they will be double file as we get the lights commenced. And we are green, 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 I think. Is everyone going? Is everyone going? Everyone's going slow. Alright. Alright, here we go. Green, 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 green. We are underway from the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. It looks like it's side-by-side action between X-Driver and XTX Cone Dodger. Into the Dunlop curve we go. It looks like XTX Cone Dodger got the best of it. The driver had to go the inside part of the curve, and it looks like Pecan moves up to third after starting in fourth, but Snipper Pig has dropped down now to fourth place. Now here comes Laser Run on the inside. It looks like two cars have gone wide. It's Intersport, and I think that might have been, I think that was Daniel and F1 fan as well. But meanwhile, Cone Dodger leads the way with X-Driver and Pecan following the suit. Pecan on the outside. Does he have enough? No, he holds the position at least for the time being. So far, everyone looks like everyone's got at least a little bit clean so far throughout the first lap. But a little bit of mistakes there from the backfield. But so far, Cone Dodger leading the way. Pecan still on the back of X-Driver. And pretty much, I think it looks like XTX Cone Dodger will lead the first lap of the Bugatti circuit here in the UDL preseason race here for IndyCar. As the gap right now is 1.5 seconds, but driver makes a mistake going wide out of turn 14. Pecan goes ahead of X-Driver on the front stretch and moves up into second place. So it looks, oh my goodness me, the Snipper goes way too deep into the Dunlop curve, and now he's got Laser Runner to deal with as well. This is going to be a good battle between these two, it looks like, for the time being. Laser Runner has more pace, it looks like, than Snipper Pig. Snipper Pig is making some little errors that's costing him a little bit of contact, I think, between those two as well. Laser Runner on the outside, Snipper Pig on the inside, but it looks like Laser will have the inside line. He goes a little bit wide. Laser Runner on the inside line. Does he get the move done? He does. Gets ahead of Snipper Pig. Now Snipper Pig moves down from 2 positions after 2 laps so far in this race. But Cone Dodger, though, has gained quite a big advantage. 2 seconds now between him and Pecan. It's just the thing I've been seeing so far is that Cone Dodger has not made too many errors. Unlike, oh, wait, speaking of that, he made an error himself in the second to last corner, and Pecan's in the lead. As I was about to say that, I put the commentator's curse on XTX Cone Dodger as he moves down 2 positions after that 1 corner. So Pecan in the lead, and now X-Driver makes a little bit of a careless mistake, cutting that chicane. And now he's got Cone Dodger to deal with. And Cone Dodger, oh, he's getting a little bit squirrely there with that car as well. Pecan right now is just holding the position, but he's got still got company at least. The main thing, I think the thing about this circuit is that from the way I've seen with these cars, it's all about not making errors. One little error, you could lose the position like that from the way it looks. But X-Driver, it looks like he's closed in. He had the draft as well behind Pecan, but he did not get a better exit than him out of the second chicane, and now Pecan just gained a little bit of a gap between him and X-Driver. So let's see. Everyone looks like for the fuel-wise, is either 25 or between 25 to, or 23 to 25 laps of fuel from the way it looks. So it looks like it's projected to be one stop. But also depends on the tire situation as Cone Dodger. Was there contact between him and X-Driver? So he makes another big mistake, and he loses at least 4 positions because of that. I couldn't tell from the camera angle when they went to the curve, but I think there might have been slight contact. But now X-Driver right behind Pecan, now on the outside. I think he's got the better advantage. Does he have enough? No. Goes a little bit wide, but they're still wheel to wheel, but X-Driver has the better exit, and he retakes the lead. But Pecan's going to come back at him. Or does he come back at him? Ooh, it's close, but no cigar. So no, Pecan just holds position for at least for the time being, but so far we've had at least, if I counted, I think maybe about 3 lead changes so far. And it's mostly been either Pecan, X-Driver, or XTX Cone Dodger. And Laser Runner 2, after starting in 5th, is up into 3rd place as well. Snipper also moved up to 4th after the accident there with Cone Dodger. Also noticing too, in that chicane before the Dunlop Bridge, they do seem to cut that corner quite a bit. I wonder how much of that is going to cost them in terms of errors as well, because the curves in this track are, let's say, not too even. So right now the gap between Driver and Pecan is 1.2 seconds from the race lead. Laser is 4.2 seconds from oh. I thought there was an accident because I saw the gap go tremendously down on my screen. So let's see, the gap between Pecan and Laser from the way it looks is 2.2 seconds. Snipper is, from Laser, is 1.4 seconds right now. As lap 6 is underway too, out of 35, and Driver is currently your race leader, 2.6 seconds now. So Driver must have gained quite a lot of time. I think because Pecan probably didn't catch it, but probably Pecan made a mistake again, which cost him nearly another second. Meanwhile, Daniel, I think, if I remember correctly, he was down the backfield. He's down right now into 9th place, so I think he's moved up at least a couple spots so far, so he's doing all right so far. Intersport, though, has gained some positions after that little bit of an accident that he had in turn 4. But here comes Cone Dodger, though. He's behind his teammate Snipper Pig. Both cars from the Chip Ganassi group. Of course, both were probably both were the best drivers too in the Indy 500 as well. Of course, like I said, Snipper Pig was the Indianapolis 500 champion. As Cone Dodger is closing quite a bit on his teammate. Will we see Team Morrison played, though, is the thing, too. To say, right, Cone Dodger, go get Laser, Beacon, and X-Driver. And the inside goes Cone Dodger, gets ahead of Snipper Pig. And Cone Dodger gets ahead of him into 4th place before the Dunlop Bridge. So, the way that, if I'm going to take a rough guess, actually, maybe it might be a 2-stop, maybe not 1-stop. I probably overestimate, but I'm thinking with the strategy that they're going to play with the fuel, I'm thinking they're going to probably go in, if I had to take a rough guess, probably by either lap 18 or 19 is like when these cars will pit. Meanwhile, Cone Dodger, though, is on a tear, trying to get to Laser Runner. Gap is now closed at 8/10. The gap was nearly 1.3 seconds a couple of corners ago. It looks like Laser Runner might have gained a little bit more of that back in that last part of the track as well. Also, I'm going to check the live stream. I think we currently have at least a few people watching. If you want to put any predictions. Oh, there we go. We got first comment. I see on my screen. I'll go and check that right now, too. I was going to say also leave any comments that you would like to say, like who's going to win this race, pretty much. And what your thoughts so far of the race itself. So far, what I'm seeing, it's been great racing. But the main thing is what I've been seeing is the close racing usually disappears because of the little errors. Because it's pretty easy, and it is easy to do that in this circuit. But meanwhile, Cone Dodger right behind. Laser Runner gets the inside move done into turn 10. Actually turn 11, but in turn 12, he holds them off at least for the time being. Now we go into turns 13 and 14. Does he have enough to hold them off? I think he does. And Cone Dodger still maintains position and has 3rd place ahead of Laser Runner. As Snipper Pig's gone to the pits already. Oh, does he have damage? No, I don't think he has got damage. Okay, so I couldn't tell if he has any damage. Sometimes I can't tell with this game. There's a quick pit stop. He's got more fuel. Looks like he's got enough to go to the very end, maybe. Maybe he did it like as soon as maybe he did that already as soon as I put the camera on him. I'm not quite entirely sure. But I mean, like I said, I'm new to the whole system for PC2 in terms of like the spectator mode and everything. So, I may sound like a beginner, pretty much, with this whole thing. As we got a comment from Mr. Damage, it says, "Go Penske." Oh, maybe they're the Penske cars, my bad. Okay, I kept saying Chip Ganassi. Yeah, I don't really have like the names of the teams and what cars the drivers are in, so that's why I was taking rough guesses. But anyways, okay, so apparently they are in the pits already. Peacon's in, Laser's in, Cone is in, and Intersport along with Trigger Happy. Okay. So it looks like opting for at least a 2-stop. Maybe. Like I said, I don't know the strategies for like IndyCars that well, so I'm just like taking rough guesses. So meanwhile, driver looks like he's staying out for at least for now, but he has to pit very soon. Okay, yeah, thank you, Damage. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I corrected myself. I was wondering like which one the Penske cars were. I kept saying Chip Ganassi, but thanks for the confirmation. And I think driver will go into the pits now, as he does go into the pits. So driver goes in the pits. Racer, I think, will pit behind him as well. So Pecan, I think he could end up either be behind or ahead of X driver. So he's got looks like new tires and more fuel added to the car as well. Where is Pecan, though? He is currently being held up by Indy Racer, trying to get by him as much as he can, too. So I think driver looks like for the time being will remain the race leader of the race, as now Indy Racer comes into the pits. So Pecan will go into second, Cone goes into third, Sniffer goes into fourth, and Laser into fifth. And then also Intersport, I think, will follow suit with that, going ahead of Indy Racer. So the Penske cars right now is third, fourth, and sixth. I think Laser is also Penske. Is that correct? Oh, driver 2. Okay, so it's a Penske 1, 3, 4, and 6. Gotcha. And a little bit of a personal side, too. My dad used to work for Roger Penske years ago, too. So it's good to see some good action from the Penske cars as well on the personal side of things. So it looks like the battles might have died down a little bit, but I don't think for the battle for second has died. It's Cone Dodger has gained a little bit more pace than Pecan has, made a little bit less errors. He goes faster too as well. And right now too, Cone Dodger has the fastest lap of the race with a 20.0. So far the car is showing good race pace. So let's see. Other than that, I think we might see some battles that might have died down just a little bit. As you can see, also the race feed, Trigger Happy moved up to 7th, Daniel into 8th, and Korab into 9th. Oh, Racer's retired from the race. How did that happen? Well, that's interesting. I don't know exactly what happened to Indy Racer, but apparently he's retired from the session, so now we're just down to 11 cars. And also for the people that have been watching this so far, thank you for tuning in as well. My name is Racer X, commenting for you guys for the UDL IndyCar preseason race at the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. Of course, like I said before, this race won't count. It's just a preseason race, just to get familiar with the cars and everything else. As Cone Dodger has gotten a little bit closer, though, to Pecan, and Racer has disconnected from the session. I probably don't blame him on that, since he retired from the race. It looks like this, they're just being a little bit patient, though. Cone Dodger, I think, is trying to buy his time to at least find a way to get by Pecan. But that's also helping driver, too, because that driver has gone a little bit ways. Oh, my goodness me! As Cone Dodger gets a little bit rusty there at the end of turn 12, but, or actually, no, I'm sorry, that was turn 10. Now we're going to turn 13. On the inside goes Cone Dodger, makes the move done ahead of Pecan in the second to last corner. And Pecan goes into the gravel trap, and that's going to cost him a lot of time as well. So he made 2 errors, though, out of those final 2 corners, and now Snipper Pig will be on his tail as well. Cone Dodger has moved up to second place. So right now, Penske 1, 2, and also 4 and 6. I'm sorry if I don't know the other teams' names too, so just bear with me on that. It's not being biased. As YCF1 fan has also left session as well. I'm guessing he got tired of it as well, so he's gone from the race. I almost left the session myself. Don't want to do that. Alright, so Damage tells me Pecan is the only Ganassi car. Okay. Alright, so thanks, Damage. I do appreciate that. But yeah, as soon as like the season gets going, I'll try to remember the team names as well, so at least I know like who's and what. So I'm guessing like the other cars are probably like maybe like privateer teams is what I'm guessing. But that's just a rough guess. Like I said, I am a beginner when it comes to this, at least for right now. Okay, so Warrior Guard, Dale, where are the other, excuse me, are the other Ganassi drivers? Alright, thank you. Thanks, Damage. Appreciate that. I'm actually surprised not to even see them, too. But maybe they'll show up later on, but who knows? But anyway, 15 laps are down and only 26 remain, or 21 remain, excuse me, remain in this race, with X-Driver leading the way so far by 2 seconds, but Cone Dodger seems to have a better car so far, showing a lot of pace. Pecan does not seem like he's gained any time whatsoever. In fact, he's kind of just stood the way, pretty much staying the way he is right now in terms of his pace, but Snipper has closed a little bit on him as well. The gap between them is about 1 point, well, it keeps going, keeps getting mixed up, but it's like at least over a second is what I'm taking a rough guess is. Oh, Snipper Pig made a little bit of a mistake there at turn 5, so that also cost him a little bit of time. But yeah, pretty much so far it looks like the field is just separate from each other. Damage also says that Cone versus Driver in the next 2 to 3 laps for the race lead. I probably would agree with you on that. Like I said, that Cone Dodger is showing that he has good race pace. He has the fastest car out here as well. And he's got, when did he set that fast lap? He must have set that a while back. It was a 1:19.9. Man, that's actually 4/10 slower than he did in his qualifying lap. Wow, he's showing some amazing pace. Yeah, he's now closed in on Driver. Will we see another lead change? I feel like we're going to be waiting maybe either by the last bit of the track or at least the next lap is when Cone Dodger might pounce on Driver ahead of him. The gap is less than half a second set between these two Penske cars. Maybe preseason race, but hey, There's no orders. There's no nothing. It's just racing. Just pure racing so far. Oh, driver goes a little bit wide there at the end of that corner. Oh, we got Korab there, it looks like, in the gravel trap. So he is out in the middle of the gravel trap and also gets lapped by Cone and driver. Cone right behind him, cuts the final turn there. He also has the slipstream too. Does he have enough to get by X-Driver? Does he have enough before they get to the Dunlop curve? As they head to it now, he's going to think about it. Does he make it? No, he's a little bit further back. He's just a little bit further back, for at least for the time being. Now here comes Cone Dodger. He's going to go the inside. No, driver cuts him off, at least for now. Great defensive driving, though, by driver so far, trying to hold off the car behind him. But now he made a mistake going wide, and now XCS Cone Dodger takes the lead again. So Cone Dodger back in the race lead, but driver is going to come back at him. At least not yet. He was going to, but he holds back the position. Cone Dodger now takes back the race lead here at the Le Mans circuit. And yeah, Damage did call it too. He said the next 2 or 3 laps that we would see these two battle out, and pretty much we haven't seen who's the better car right now. It is XTX Cone Dodger. And we have Intersport, who looks like he went off. It looks like at the back straight. Somehow he ended up there. I don't know how. Only 27 laps remain. Cone Dodger right now is your race leader, with driver in second, Pecan still in third, but Sniffer Pig is right behind him in fourth, Laser in fifth, Inter in sixth, Daniel in seventh, and Trigger Happy in eighth, Korab in ninth, and Hefe in 10th. Oh, that might have, who was it? I'm trying to remember who was in the gravel trap because they were both the same car. Maybe that was the core. Oh, maybe that was Hefe. Okay, so Hefe was the one that mostly got lapped, I think. It might have been him or Korab, but either way. Now, the only thing I would wonder, too, is does Cone Dodger have enough fuel? Because if you want to take a look at this, the fuel gauge, right now, Cone has 34.7 laps of fuel remaining, or liters. I think it's liters for this game. And driver has 38.9, so he could stretch out that fuel maybe till the end of the race, but Cone might have to, well, let me think. Nah, I mean, we'll see what goes on. Like I said, they might go another pit stop, but we'll see what goes on. As actually, speaking of a pit stop, Laser Runner goes into the pits, and looks like he got more fuel and new tires, so he will come out, looks like, I think he'll come out in 8th. That gap has now gone bigger, though, between Cone Dodger and driver. 3.2 seconds separate between the two Penske cars in the front. And meanwhile, Pecan still remains third. The gap has pretty much stayed the same, at least for the time being, with the rest of the field. But Cone Dodger is proving right now, like I have said before, over and over, I think, that he has got the fastest car. He's got good race pace, and he's definitely a contender, like I said before as well. So now lap 21 is on the board too, as we have 14 laps to go, as it looks like FA has gone into the pits. Oh wait, I mean I forget they keep the current lap count for certain drivers. That's why I got a bit confused. It's actually 15 laps, but anyways, Cone Dodger still maintaining good pace. He's actually gained, let's see, I think from every lap, from the way it looks, is that he's gained about 1.5 seconds per lap from X-Driver. From the way it looks. Yeah, so far I'm not seeing... Oh, well, as that happens, Snipper gets by a lap car. I think that might have been either Hefe or Korab. It was Hefe. So far, like, little quick notes to make out is I probably would say that the first bit of the race, we've had some good battles, especially for the race lead. We had about 3 different race leaders for a little bit. And the thing that was good and interesting from this battle was between Pecan X-Driver and XCS Cone Dodger from the first few laps of the race. So far it's kind of died down a little bit from what we are seeing as well. As pretty much there is like literally no battles going on right now. Now it's just pretty much all about, like, at least in this portion of the race, is just to not make any errors. Korab is going to come out of the pits, puts on new tires, and gets more fuel into the car. Does enough to go to the end. I'm just wondering if they're going to have to make another pit stop, but I don't think it looks like they will by the way it looks. Unless they burn through the fuel so quickly, but so far I'm not seeing that. 7.3 seconds, the gap between Cone Dodger and Driver. I think... Is there a position battle? No. I thought I saw there was a position battle between Daniel and maybe Intersport, but no, not yet. As Driver now goes into the pits. Okay, so it is a 2-stop. I thought it would be either 1 or 2 stops. So, okay, so Driver's gone to the pits. So Pecan takes 2nd place. Snipper will go into 3rd. Now, I think Driver will get ahead of Intersport once he comes out of the pit lane. Intersport is way too far away to even get him. I guess we're probably going to have to see what happens with the rest. I'm thinking maybe this track is all about tire wear. Maybe that's why they're pitting quite sooner. Which would make a lot of sense. I mean, I know, like, the Le Mans circuit in general is, like, known for that kind of thing in terms of, like, you know, tire wear, obviously, because you're going for, like, over 24 hours. Obviously in different cars, but this is a whole different. But this is obviously a whole different story. So Cone looks like he'll stay out. Does Pecan go into the pits? Is the question too. He's also got Snipper Pig behind him. No, he stays out. Okay, now Snipper blinks in and goes into the pits. So he will go in for his pit stop. And I think, well, let's see. We'll see if that puts him ahead of X Driver as he's coming down the pit lane right now. Driver is at turn 12. So I think Driver looks like will get ahead of Snipper and go back up. Snipper finally comes out of his pit stall, and yep, there you go. Driver gets ahead of Snipper Pig up into third place, but also Intersport gets ahead of him as well. But yet he does have to pit as well too. So that probably won't last for long. And Daniel also gets ahead of him as well. And so far, it's pretty much been Cone Dodger has led. Let's see, if I had to take a rough guess, I probably would say he led about 17 or 18 of these laps so far. Maybe a bit more, if I'm correct. Let me. Does the timing thing actually have that? No, it does not. But Cone Dodger did set another fast lap a little while ago. Oh, looks like we got car slowing down. Oh, we might have a caution. But for who? Oh, there you go. That's it. Trigger Happy and Laser Runner. I think that's the caution. So, yeah, wow. Okay, so this is going to make things very interesting. So pretty much whatever gap that Cone Dodger had has just pretty much disappeared. Wow, that's interesting. Especially with 10 laps to go into this race. So everyone's got to maintain their speed. It looks like they have to maintain their speed about like 60 miles an hour, maybe about there. 50 miles an hour, it looks like. Cone's going about 50, so yeah, that's pretty much the caution speed. Now I think it's the time we see that Cone Dodger and Pecan go into the pits. Intersport will have to follow suit as well, along with Daniel. Now, also, does Korab have the ability, though, to at least have a free pass? To at least get ahead of Pecan Cone? Well, he probably will if they go into the pit. So, oh, wait, we saw two cars that left. Laser's gone, and someone else just left, too. Oh, it was Hefe. Okay. Oh, sorry. I almost did that again. So Trigger Happy's in the pits now. Yep, there we go. Now we have Cone going to the pits, Pecan in the pits, and Intersport. So this means that Driver is now your race leader again. But Pecan, I think is that Pecan? No, it's Daniel. Daniel stays out. Wow. I got the cars confused. So Daniel's in second place. Snipper in third. And he also made a pit stop, too. So this is working to the favor mostly to Driver and Snipper from the way it looks. Pecan looks like he's gotten ahead, I think, of Intersport and Cone Dodger. Wow, so Cone Dodger did not have a good pit stop. So he's lost 2 positions because of it. Wow. So, meanwhile, yeah, Korab does have a free pass, so he will try to unlap himself and get back to the queue. He's got a little ways to get to the queue as well. So the order is now Driver in first, Daniel in second, Snipper in third, Pecan in fourth, Intersport in fifth, Cone in sixth, Korab as he's going into the pits. I think he did unlap himself though, so he will go to the. But why did he go in the pits? Does he have damage? Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, maybe he does. Okay. The Trigger Happy is the only car that's not a lap. That's a lap down. So apparently he did not get the free pass to get by the lead cars. I don't know if we're going to wait until the queue catches up or if we're just going to go straight into green flag racing once driver gets to around the final turn. Although I wish in this game that they would have like a safety car or a pace car, whatever you want to call it. That would make things a heck of a lot easier too. Alright, so are we gonna get going? I think they're picking up a bit of speed. So let's see. Doesn't look like it, so no, we're gonna go another lap under yellow flag conditions. Alright, so we're just pretty much just waiting for the queue, I guess, to at least catch up. Damn, it's just crazy time for a caution. Yeah, I would agree with that. 9 laps to go, but it did help driver at least to get back the race lead. I think he's pretty much the big winner of this. I'm surprised Daniel hasn't pitted though, because he is like marginal in field, but I mean, will it pay off? I don't know. He's not even on pressure tires either. The driver and Snipper are, and also the rest of the guys behind him. So I think this may put him in a more of a big time disadvantage. So, oh, well, Korab apparently spun. He really went, well, he didn't spin, but he just went wide. I don't know how he ended up there. But he is not lapped. Alright, there we go. Now we got Korab coming to the queue, so looks like we got most of the queue there. Yeah, we got the queue there. Alright, so I think so by the next lap we should be back under green flag conditions. And we will have 7 laps left in this race once we get going. So, yeah, I mean, this race has definitely turned on its head, though, especially with this caution that came in pretty unexpected from Laser Runner and Korab were the main cause of it. But now we see them coming to the final turns now. I think we should be back under green flag conditions. I think. And is it green flag? Now here we go, green flag. 3 wide behind is Pecan and Daniel. I think with Snipper was there too. It looked like, well, it was a little bit, but now it's Daniel and Pecan wheel to wheel into the first couple of corners into the Dunlop curve. I think Pecan has a slight advantage. He does have the better advantage with those fresher tires. Gets, oh my goodness, Pecan's off. Pecan has come completely off. Intersport, I think, got collected. I think another car got involved as well. That's gonna bring, I think that's gonna bring another caution. Yep, there you go. That's another caution. Intersport has lost his rear wing completely. Okay, so it was just 2 cars involved, Pecan and Intersport. Pecan went straight off. Oh, was that Daniel? Oh, it was Daniel. Now, Pecan seems okay. Okay, so well, how did he actually end up there with that crash? But yeah, okay, so he does have damage. Yeah, he does not have a front wing. Well, he has half a front wing, technically. Whoa, a little bit dicey between Intersport and Pecan. Pecan gets ahead of him. Okay. Did they get a free pass if they get damaged in the caution? I guess. I don't know. But, okay. But yeah, obviously they have to pit. Without question. Intersport is in a 90-degree angle. Now he's back facing the right way. I don't know how on earth he ended up there. Okay, so Pecan's in the pits. Now Daniel finally comes in. But yeah, Daniel does not have any damage. I got them confused because they obviously are the same color car as well, so that's why I got a bit confused. So he gets more fuel in. So the driver does remain the leader. Cone now moves up into 2nd place. And look who's also crawled back into the field, Korab. After being a lap down for most of the entire race, is up into 4th place. So this is definitely a big winner there for Korab, as he can actually take a little bit of an advantage now, if possible, to at least get up there with the rest of the field. But Trigger Happy, meanwhile, is still remaining a lap down. Wow, this race is definitely turned on its head, like I said before, but I didn't expect this. Didn't expect that for a preseason race now, did you? So Peacock comes on in 5th. Intersport will come up behind Daniel, as he's the last of the lead lap cars to get out of the pits. So now all we have to do is wait for Intersport, and we will get back under green flag conditions again. I think. But my goodness me. Penske 1, 2, and 3. With driver in 1st, Cone in 2nd, and Snipper in 3rd. But with Cone's pace, that's going to be a challenge for drivers if he can hold him up at least. He struggled to do it the first time, now he has another chance to do it. Alright, so I think Intersport is now caught up to the queue. So I would expect this next lap we will get back under green flag racing again. We will have 5 laps remaining here in this UDL preseason race for IndyCar here at the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. As driver will, looks like, lead the pack. And I think we should be going green. Green flag. As it looks like Korab's going to try to get a little bit adventurous. Goes on the inside of Snipperpink. Before the double cut, Korab goes a little bit too deep. A little bit pushed there from Pecan. A little bit pushed there from Korab. Pecan goes into 3rd place with a little bit of contact. But Korab still battling out with Snipperpink. And now Snipperpink goes a little bit too deep. Goes into the grass slightly. But Snipperpink holds the position at least for now. But wow, an adventurous restart though from Korab. But he might lose some more positions as Daniel goes on the inside into turn 5. My goodness. So just a couple of corners, it all went right for Korab, but now it's gone horribly wrong as now Intersport wants to get involved. but he doesn't make the move at least. But now comes Cone Dodger. Now we're going to see driver and Cone battling out part 2 in this race. Cone Dodger right behind him, just nearly behind his diffuser. On the inside goes Cone Dodger, and retakes the lead again. Cone Dodger back in the race lead, ahead of ex-driver. That didn't take long for that battle to end. Now Pecan wants to get a little bit involved and wants to get ahead of ex-driver, ahead of him as well. So this race went from exciting for a little bit at first with the battles in the first few laps, died down a little bit, and now also we had a little bit more action again. Pecan goes a little bit wide there at the end of the chicane. That might have cost him a little bit of time as well. I don't know what's in that car from Cone Dodger, but my gosh, that guy has good pace. As now Intersport wants to get involved with Daniel right for the battle for 4th place. Daniel goes a bit slightly wide. Now will will Intersport get ahead of him? No, not quite just yet. Still buying his time. And I think we are clear to see who, like, the guy is to beat right now. It is clearly right now it's Cone Dodger. Obviously, it's too early to tell, like, obviously who will be in what, obviously, for the championship, but Cone Dodger looks like the car to beat right now at this point. Obviously, you can't count out driver and Pecan because they're also obviously one of the best drivers in this field too. Snipper and Intersport, obviously, quality drivers as well. But I'm also liking the new promising faces, like Korab has been doing pretty good as well. Good recovery. The caution, though, it definitely saved him, though. But those little errors, though, and the restart definitely cost him. So he's going to have to try to work on that. Daniel's been doing pretty good as well, I would probably say, too. After starting from, I think he was in the back of the grid for a little while. Up into 4th, he's been doing pretty solid. All right, so we got 3 more laps to go. Cone Dodger now has built a gap of 2 seconds ahead of ex-driver. So pretty much right now, this is what it's looking like to be game over, I think. As long as Cone Dodger does not make any errors, this is definitely his race to win. All right, comes across the line. 2 more laps to go. Looks like Pecan wants to get a little bit of action too with ex-driver. 6/10 separate between him and ex-driver as they come around to the Dunlop curve. Oh, the little bit of a jump there towards the Dunlop bridge. Pecan, though, has a slight advantage. A little bit of grass rub there from ex-driver. Pecan has definitely gained at least a couple of tenths out of those corners, too. And Danny, oh my goodness! Intersport goes really wide, almost hits the wall. Just slightly, but now Snipper Pig wants to get involved. Intersport's making tons of mistakes, and now Snipper Pig gets ahead of Intersport into 4th place. Cone's got now at least 4 more corners to go until we can start the final lap of this UDL IndyCar preseason race here at the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. And there you go, white flag is out. Final lap of the race is underway. Cone in 1st, driver in 2nd, Pecan in 3rd, and Snipper Pig right along in 4th so far, and Intersport in 5th, Daniel in 6th, Korab in 7th, and Trigger Happy right now in 8th. Pecan, though, right behind ex-driver. He wants to get at least ahead of him, at least another position before the end of this race. got a little bit closer though, but he's trying to keep driver a little bit honest. My goodness me, this is going to be probably a good finish to the end for these guys for second place. But yeah, right now there's no way they're going to catch Cone Dodger. He is just way too far away. Pecan right behind him. With a little bit of slipstream to at least help him out, but he does not have enough quite yet just to get by him. Oh, so close. So close. Still sticks behind him at least for the time being. Will we see a move made in the final two corners? And speaking of the final two corners, Cone Dodgers in the final two corners. Comes last around the final corner now, takes the checkered flag, and wins the preseason race for the UDL IndyCar preseason race. Driver will remain in second and Pecan in third. Stipper Pig, the Indianapolis 500 winner from over a month ago, will finish in fourth, and Intersport in fifth. Daniel in sixth, and Korab in seventh, with Trigger Happy running off the rest of the guys in the field. Oh, wow, what a brilliant race, though, towards the very end. A little bit of here and there action, but good overall preseason race. This field definitely looks very promising from the way it looks. I cannot wait to see what goes on for the rest of the IndyCar calendar. It's going to be interesting to see for the very first race, which will be, I don't know if it'll be next week or 2 weeks, but held in Daytona International Speedway for the Daytona night race in IndyCar. That is going to be something else. But I think, if I'm correct, I think that might conclude it. So Cone Dodger is your race winner. Driver in second, Pecan in third, Stipper Pig in fourth, Intersport in fifth, Daniel in sixth, Korab in seventh, Trigger Happy in eighth, and Laser Runner, Hefe, and the other guys, I think if I remember correctly, are the cars that retired from the race. And I think the other guys I mentioned was Indy Racer and YCF1 fan, who also left the session a little while back. But I think that will conclude it. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Racer X. And also, tomorrow will be the UDL F1 Mexican Grand Prix, so be sure to tune in that. That'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on the United Drivers League I keep getting them mixed up. United Drivers League YouTube channel. My name is Racer X. Take care. Have a great rest of your day and the rest of your weekend as well.